Less than 4% of black female entrepreneurs make it to the $1 million mark. So Mahisha Dellinger is working to change that. In today's Bloomberg Equality, where we focus on the bottom line impact of diversity, I sat down with a pioneer of the natural hair market. We discussed Mahisha's journey to grow her company into an award-winning brand and her show on the Oprah Winfrey Network.
We got started at Intel Corporation in a conference room. I was really disillusioned with corporate America and my chances to grow. I didn't really grow fast as I wanted to, and I wanted to take control of my destiny, so I decided to branch it on my own. But I wasn't sure what I wanted to do exactly until I took a vacation with my fiance at the time, now my husband, and I started to look at the trends in natural hair care and saw that there was a real need and shift in women of color going back to their natural textures. And there weren't a lot of options in the marketplace, so I decided to go after that opportunity and create it myself.
So this was an untapped market that you were looking at the time. How do you think it's changed since you entered the market?
Well, we were one of the four that created this space in Target back in 2007. The buyer created a space just for this purpose of newly transitioning women. Today, there are over 30 brands in that same category and in more stores beyond Target. But we really did pioneer it, but now it's overly saturated. But you know what? There's a lot of opportunity and still space because people are still buying, and it hasn't shifted. The pie is growing, and I think there's a space for all of us.
What about funding? When you started your own business, how did you go around finding the funding necessary to do that? Because it takes a lot up front.
Right. You know, despite having exceptional personal credit, I could not get a small business loan. And I was really discouraged by that initially, and I decided, you know, I'll have to start smaller than I expected. So I used my personal savings. I had about $30,000, and I used that to start. I wanted to go a lot bigger, but you know, in hindsight, it was better because I actually grew it organically over time, and I was really diligent with my spending, really strategic with my spending, and I really was smart with my spending because I had such a small amount to start with. And it winded up giving me more experience to start, but also I was able to make my mistakes on a smaller scale before I was really recognized. Had I started really big, I could have failed really bad.
Now, your story caught the attention of Oprah Winfrey, a mogul in her own right, and soon you're hosting your own show on the Oprah Winfrey Network. Talk a little bit about what your mission is in your show.
Well, you know, so in line with my personal mission, Oprah saw a need to help women of color with their businesses. Black women and their black-based businesses are up 300%, but less than 4% make it to the $1 million mark. So Oprah wanted to help bridge that gap. And I was already doing that informally in my real life. So our two missions collided, and it happened to be a perfect harmony. So the goal was to really help women get to their level of success where they are dreaming and envisioning for their business, but don't really know how to do that and need the tools, the information, the resource, the access to do so. And so each episode helped one business, and they were either product or service based. We didn't really focus on either. We just took the best business that needed the most help and also had the resources in place. And we gave them what they needed to be successful. And 7 out of the 8 businesses actually turned around.
So what is the key obstacle to getting to that $1 million mark? You mentioned that as kind of this threshold that was difficult to get towards. Why
For us, it's a lot. Again, it goes back to having the information of what you need to do and how to grow, the mentor, the education, access to funding, the tools, someone that can help you propel yourself forward. Other cultures have a built-in help system, and a lot of times we don't really have that access that we need. And so that's why I make it my personal mission to create my Black Girls Making Millions Academy, have my show Mind Your Business with Mahisha on OWN. I mentor people on the side to really help in that space because I believe to whom much is given, much is required. And so I'm in this space, I've learned so much, and I didn't do it with the mentor. And had I had a mentor or my show or Black Girls Making Millions Academy, I would have been further along a lot faster. So I feel like I need to reach back and help those that are in my position that really want to make another life for themselves.